Good morning. Here we are on Friday morning. The Millionaire training, the golden principles that created the top network marketers of today. Today we'll be talking about the death of a salesman. But before we do that, let's go ahead and do our normal stuff. My name is Tammy Todd, and I am here in Huntington Beach, California, and I'm so grateful to be here with you today. I'm so grateful for everything that's just evolving and happening and becoming as I go through this journey in life. As you know, I was at convention last week and it was incredible. And I've been diving deep into the training and creating stuff and working with new customers and new associates and just and sidelines and just we're strategizing and helping each other grow. And it's been incredible. So I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for my boyfriend. I'm grateful for this life. I'm grateful for the sun. I'm grateful for getting up this morning. I'm grateful for, I did part of my workout this morning. I didn't complete the whole thing. I've got a few more things to do after, but it's all good. And today I plan on reaching out. There's just been so many things going on. I'm going to be real. I'm going to do 3 new reach outs today, and I'm going to follow up with at least 5 people today. And then I'm still working on some of the other pieces. So hopefully I'll get some pieces connected and really make everything start happening even more synergistically and organically, and just sharing in a way that feels good to me, and that it's just incredible. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and start the morning meditation. Today we'll be talking about the death
So
of
take a
salesman.
deep breath,
Before we do that,
a
let's go ahead and
deep
do our
breath of
normal
life.
stuff. Today we'll be talking about the death
So
of
take
the
a
salesman.
deep Talmud says every blade of grass has an angel leaning over it, whispering, "Grow, grow, grow." That blade of grass will press through cement, seeking the light. And that same pull of becoming is on and in you. It is the spiral pull of becoming that is everywhere present in the universe, for the universe itself is ever seeking fuller, freer, expanded life. And you are part of this wondrous spiral of becoming. Your very DNA is a spiral, and you feel that pull to the more. Learning to work in concert and cooperation with the great laws of the universe. Open doors of possibilities that prior would have seemed completely impossible and only for the few, not you. But now, through your interest, your study, and your willingness, you're beginning to understand that not only is dream building your right, but your responsibility. For you have come here to give the gift of you, without which the fabric of creation is incomplete. For you did not create you. You can't even breathe you. You're being breathed by the great spirit of life itself, and something wonderful is happening with you right now. It is this thing called life. You've been given a mind and a body, emotions and spirit. You are spirit having a human experience, using the mind and body and emotions as your expressing field for what you ultimately will choose as the demonstration of the life you know. So in this sacred moment, activate the faculties you have, and know this: you are an image maker, made in the image and after the likeness of the one who gives you life. Your mind thinks in pictures.
Okay, here we are. Do you ever have one of those days where you just kind of everything feels discombobulated? Well, that's kind of how I feel this morning. It's really interesting. I don't usually have days where, I mean, I know I have issues sometimes with trying to find things on the screen, but anyway, let's continue. So we are on page 54, The Death of a Salesman. What can hold you back in your profession? Let's talk about what is the death of a salesman, or we can also call this the death of someone in their own business, or we can call this the death of someone in their own profession. There are certain things that hold people back, and we're going to talk about that. I will note this: no matter if you're in the sales profession, or if you're in the acting profession, or if you're a lawyer or a doctor or an Indian chief, it really doesn't make any difference. There's one thing that is important here. We are all salesmen. If we're going to be successful in life, we have to learn to be a salesman. Let me rephrase that. We already know how to be a salesman. All of us do. However, the majority of us don't know it. So the best salesmen in the world are kids, right? Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever seen a kid like that? A little 5-year-old kid says, Daddy, Daddy, can I have an ice cream? Absolutely not. We're going to eat in 2 hours. Oh, Daddy, Daddy, can I have an ice cream, please? The kid goes on. Absolutely not. If you say that one more time, you're going to get it. And the dad says, a little more tense this time. 15 minutes later, the kid's licking his ice cream, right? Kids know just how to take it so far, right? And get what they want. So kids are the best ones. Next to kids are women. Women are the best salesmen in the world. There's been very few things, ladies, that you've ever wanted from your man, but you haven't gotten unless you've given up on it, okay? That's really, really something. The most important thing about sales is, remember this: salesman has an S in the middle. It means plural. More than one time, right? You can't just sell one time and now you have got the thing figured out and handled. I'll relate this to relationships. Men, you can't make one big sale to your lady of your dreams and expect it's over. It's got to be every day that this has to take place. And ladies, the same goes for you, right? You don't make one big sale for your man and then it's over. It's all over, right? It's a continual situation every single day. And you need to understand something about the salesman profession. The most honorable profession in the world today, and the most professional profession in the world today. It's the most professional profession in the world today. Everyone says, well, yeah, I'll tell you what the backbone to America is. It's the farmer, right? Let the farmer stop producing food for 30 days and very little is going to happen. So you might say, well, the backbone of the legal is the legal industry. Well, let's shut down the legal system and the lawyers and the judges for 30 days. Again, nothing much happens. Let the medical profession shut down for 30 days and nothing much happens, except for right now. The salesman stops selling for 30 days and it stops everything. So it's the most highly respected profession in the world. It's also the most highly paid profession in the world too. It is salesmen, not doctors who make the most money. It's not lawyers, right? It's salesmen who make more money than anybody else. And I'm talking about true salesmen, not someone that you walk down to the department store and they have a little badge on that says salesperson. And I'm using the word salesman here. Ladies, please understand, salesman is easier to say than salesperson, right? Just because someone has a tag here that says salesperson doesn't mean that they're a true sales professional. They might just be an order taker. True professional salesmen are the highest paid individuals in the world, and the highest paid in the sales field is in what industry? The direct sales industry. They make more money than anybody else in the world. So you've come to the right place for opportunity. You also come with the right credentials. You know what you need to take advantage of this? Nothing. You need desire and willingness. You need burning desire. It takes three things to succeed. I encourage you to write these down. Burning desire. It takes a burning desire to improve yourself financially. See, I don't care if this person is earning $500 a month or $5,000 a month. They could be a financial failure or a financial success either way. The key is, are they succeeding in their goals? Are they getting what they want for them and their family? Regardless if it's 500 or 5,000 isn't the point, isn't the important thing. Somebody says, oh yeah, I'm making real good money. The question is compared to what, right? Don't compare it to someone earning less or more than you. You need to be comparing it to, are you succeeding in your goals for you and your family? And if not, the question's got to be asked, why not? It isn't because you don't have the experience, and it isn't because you don't have the time. It's none of those things. The real issue is just you. So, death of a salesman. When I'm talking about salesmen, we're going to talk about how important it is. We're going to talk about what some killers are, and that you need to understand how important the sales profession is. Sometimes we think badly of salespeople, right? Because you've gotten a lemon, you've got stuck with something, or you blame the salesperson. But what you need to do is turn that around. Think of any object that you have in your home that you like, your clothes, your car stereo, bed, plants, anything that you have that means a lot to you. I want you to notice that you bought that from a salesperson. Understand? And you think well of them. You think of them as someone who's nice, and a good salesperson makes you feel good about it because they continually sell you on it. And that's not negative. I mean, they're telling you that what they're telling you is the truth, right? But they're continually making you feel good about it. Here's what a salesman is. A salesman is a mind maker upper. A salesman, that's what a salesman is. It's a mind maker upper. And because the mind fluctuates, the salesman has to do what? Continue to make it up, right? Remember, I said in a relationship, you can't just make one big sale and you've got it, because the mind fluctuates. If you want to know why relationships don't do what they want, it's because the mind fluctuates. You have to continually make up the mind here. You have to continually work on it, okay? Now I'm going to talk about the death of a salesman, death of someone being in business for themselves, deaths of any types of professional individual. I have to tell you a story here. Maybe that'll help. We've all known somebody like this. Maybe a guy at the gas station, right? He keeps the gas station going. He keeps everything going. All the customers happy. He keeps everything moving, everything going. And he's the best mechanic. He treats everybody nice. And you say, I don't understand why Bill doesn't go out there and get into business for himself. He's just so talented. He would be so wonderful for himself. He makes a fortune for his boss. Why doesn't Bill go into business for himself? We've all seen that. Bill finally gets into business for himself. He lasts 6 months, goes bankrupt, working in his own place. He ends up going back to his old job. And while he's gone, his boss's business has gone down the tubes, right? He's so glad to be back there now. He gets back there, he fixes up his boss's business, and it takes off like crazy, right? We've all experienced something like that. Well, what happened? What's the difference here? Is it because Bill doesn't have the talent it takes? Bill has some things that he was lacking in his character that shows up when he was his own boss. It was to his advantage when he has a boss, but it was to his detriment when he didn't have a boss. And I'm going to go over those with you. Okay. Let's talk about habits. Habits. We all have habits. Everything we do is a habit. The way we talk is a habit. The way we walk is a habit. The way we relate to others is a habit. The way we eat is a habit. The way we drive is a habit. Everything we do is the result of a habit that we have. Our success in life, or failure in life, or mediocrity in life is a result of our habits in life. Nothing else. It's based on our habits. So if you want to change that, then we need to go out. We need to go to work on our habits. That's the thing that we need to go to work on and zero in on. A habit, a bad habit. You hear that a bad habit is hard to break, right? We've all heard that, but let me tell you what else is hard to break. A good habit. A habit is a habit. The fact that it's good or bad happens to be, it's relative to the individual and the situation, right? Bill has some habits that were good while he was working for someone else. But when he got into business for himself, he fell right on his face, a result of bad habits. So a habit is a habit. And the only way that you can do anything about a habit, the only way that you can change a habit is you've got to replace it with another habit. That's all. You just change it for another one. You've got to make it the predominant issue here, and then you can alter it. I'm going to talk to you about a couple of habits here that will get you into trouble being in business for yourself. One of them is lying to yourself. Even the most honest people in the world have a tendency to lie to themselves. You will tell yourself a lie. Don't lie to yourself. Tell yourself the truth. That is very easy to do when you get into this business. You find yourself doing well, and the next thing you do, you find yourself going full-time. You get out there full-time and you do great for about 2 months, and then you start going downhill. It takes about 2 months after being full-time for it to start catching up with you. I'll tell you what happens. You have only so much time when you're part-time to make it work, and you've got your momentum going and it's working for you. And you say, okay, my income is up. I feel stable with this thing. And your decision to go full-time is accurate. And then that momentum keeps carrying you for about another month or two. What happens in your business today is not a result of what you do today. It's a result of what you did yesterday. What happens in your business in the month of March has nothing to do with what you do in March. It has to do with what you did in February, right? And without noticing, you've changed a couple of habits in March, and all of your business keeps going up in production, keeps climbing, your income goes up, your sales goes up because of what you did in February. You say, I'm doing the right thing now because I changed this over here, but look what's happened. But it has nothing to do with what you're doing now in March. It's because of what you did over here in February. So when a person gets into this business and goes full time, their decision is accurate, but then they change a couple of things that they have been doing. And it takes a couple of months to figure out what they have changed is not going to produce the kind of results that they had in February. And because their production keeps climbing, they think, this is what I need to do. And the next month it starts falling off. And then they start doing footwork again. They don't know what to do. They start working on solving the wrong problem. There's only one thing you need to do, basics. It's called back to basics. Write that down, basics. You've got to go back to the basics. For those of you who are sports fans, you understand this. How many follow basketball very closely at all? I didn't used to follow basketball, but I started to watch it. And now I know that basketball is very exciting. And I had no idea it was exciting at all until I got into it. I really like basketball now. In basketball, everything, because it is so fast, you can go along and just keep hitting points and everything is hitting. Then all of a sudden you can go along and your team can't make any points at all. It can be 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and they put no points on the board. Now, if they're scoring a lot of points, they know what to do. They keep doing the same thing, right? But what do you do when you're not scoring a lot of points? It's very simple. You go back to the basics. You keep doing the basics over and over and over and over again, and you stick to the basics. It's called a hot hand in basketball and sports. So all of a sudden you're going along and you're scoring no points at all. 3, 4, 5 minutes, no points in. All of a sudden someone gets a hot hand. But what do you do when you don't have a hot hand? Basics, basics, basics. Keep doing the basics. And there's only a handful of basics here, and we're going to come down to it. Now, one of them is lying to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Lie to me, lie to your sponsor, lie to your spouse, lie to your neighbor, but don't lie to yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Have the ability to see it as it is and call it as it is. You don't have to work a lot in this business. It's the easiest business I've ever seen in my life, okay? And I've been in a lot of businesses and made a lot of money in a lot of businesses, but I'd say I'd never done anything like this. It's the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. Maybe I shouldn't be telling you that. I'm hesitant to say that, but it is easy. When my sister can start and 90 days later have a royalty check of $2,010.88 in her third month, that's unheard of, okay? That is unheard of. So it's an easy business to do. And don't lie to yourself about what you're doing. Tell yourself the truth. All you need is 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, every single day for 3 months straight, and you'll never have to worry about your financial future again. When I first went full time, I was told, all you have to do, Larry, is work half as hard here as you did in construction work, and you'll be wealthy quick. And I said, let me at it half as hard. I'll work twice as hard, right? It didn't work that way at all because of habits. Understand? Habits. One of them is lying to yourself. Oh, I know it's coming. I got it going now. I've got it coming in now, right? Well, where is it? It is the only thing you have to ask yourself. Where's the production today? Some people get so engrossed putting projects together, brochures together, big schemes, booklets, everything else together that they don't produce today. They don't make one sale today. They don't recruit one person today. They don't really seriously talk to anybody about the product or the opportunity today. I'll tell you how to make $5,000 a month in this business. I'll tell you how to do it, and it'll take 90 days. If you will do 2 things. Number 1, sell the product at every opportune moment. It doesn't mean that you go out here and go door to door. It doesn't mean that you get party plans. It doesn't mean you have to go to office buildings. It doesn't mean that. Sell the product at every opportune moment. Wear your lose weight now, ask me how button. Open your eyes, open your ears, pay attention, and sell the product at every opportune moment. Number 2, sponsor 10 people a month. I've told this to some of you before, and I'll tell you this again. There's not a person that's heard this before who did it, who is making less than $5,000 a month, period, over and out. That's what I told my sister to do, and that's exactly what she's doing. That's something. That's all she is doing is those 2 things. Sell the product at every opportune moment and sponsor 10 people a month. That doesn't mean 11 in March and 9 in April. Sponsor 10 people every month and sell the product at every opportune moment. You can do that, and $5,000 a month is yours. It's waiting for you. But don't lie to yourself here, okay? Who did you talk today about the product? Who did you talk to today about the opportunity? Don't tell me about what's going to happen next week with all those big plans you have. Don't you do that. What did you do today that made a significant difference in your financial future? What was it today? You are the only one that's got to have the answer to that question, but tell yourself the truth on it, okay? I'm going to give you a problem here, but I'm going to give you a solution to it. Procrastination. Procrastination. I don't know how to spell it. I was going to look it up this morning, but I'll do it on Monday. I just thought I wanted to see if you're awake, okay? Procrastination. How many of you are procrastinators? All of us have procrastinated, all of us. There's not one person in the world who is not a procrastinator in some area. Procrastination. Procrastination took me a while to understand, and I had to relate to it. There are a couple of things that really got to me. I didn't think I was going to be able to make it work. Even though I was making money and stuff, it wasn't secure to me. It wasn't secure money to me. See, it wasn't any of that stuff because I didn't think I was going to be able to put it all together. And procrastination was one part of it. And it took construction work to get me back to understanding procrastination. I couldn't understand it. Some things I just kept putting off and off and off and off and other things I do right now. I just didn't have any handle on why I did that. I didn't understand it. So let me share a story with you about procrastination, the fried bologna sandwich. We're in the nutritional business, but I'm going to tell you right now, my favorite sandwich in the whole world. I love sandwiches. I mean, I don't just like sandwiches. I love them, just love them. And my favorite sandwich in the whole world is a fried bologna sandwich. Any of you ever had a fried bologna sandwich? Well, let me tell you, you've never had one in the world like I can make it. Sometimes I will prepare a fried bologna sandwich and you'll never believe it. You'll never be the same again in your life, and your life is over. is in your life over this. When I did construction work, you know what I had every day for lunch? A fried bologna sandwich. It's got to be prepared right. It's got to be eaten right. It's so good. You have no idea. And I've been in sales for about a year, and I was having tough times. I was making money and everything, but I was having some rough times because I wasn't secure. As I said, I was nervous about it all the time. It was a day that I planned to be off. It was in March, and I wanted to do some work on my deck. I was building a deck out there, and I'd been piddling around with it, and I was going to take a day and really get on with it. I was there by myself, and I'll never forget it. I didn't want to eat anything in the morning at all because I don't like to get all bogged down. And I had it figured out where I could do X amount of work and then stop about 1, rest a little bit, and prepare a fried bologna sandwich and eat it leisurely at 2. It was going to be so good. And I kept working, right? Finally, I got down and it was time to eat my fried bologna sandwich. I prepared it, and all of a sudden I'm eating this fried bologna sandwich. And it had been a while since I'd had one because I hadn't been doing construction work for some time. And for some reason, this fried bologna sandwich didn't taste nearly as good to me as I felt like it should. And that was bothering me. I trained myself enough by now to pay attention to things that didn't feel quite right, to analyze them and to figure out the change and change it. And for whatever reason, I couldn't figure it out. And then it got me. I understood it. You know what it was? I don't like the crust. Terrible, right? I don't like eating the crust, but you also can't throw it away because there are starving kids in India, right? You know how your mother put you through that deal, right? So you can't throw the crust away. And so what do? I looked at the sandwich. I started over here in this corner, and I started eating in the middle. And then I started eating, and I was ending up with, I was going to have this big piece of crust left at the end. And you know, it's dry, it's terrible, nothing good about that deal at all. And then it hit me. I figured it out. I related it to procrastination. I said to myself, I know how to do it now to make the whole sandwich taste good from the start to finish. You know what to do? Eat the crust first. You get on with the crust. You eat little pieces of the crust at a time until it's gone. You don't mind eating the crust because you know you'll get down to the last bite, which is the heart, right? The good stuff is in the heart of the sandwich. Everything is in there, the maximum. Whatever you have in your sandwich, it's all in the middle of the good stuff, right? And that's the best bite. So you save that for last. So the point on procrastination is all of us procrastinate in some areas of life, right? We procrastinate when we're doing things that we don't like to do. We hurry up and do the stuff that we do like to do, and we prolong the stuff that we don't like to do. And while we're doing the things that we do like to do, like eating the bologna sandwich, we're thinking of the crust and we're not enjoying it this to full capacity, right? So if you eat the crust first, the crust is more palatable because you've got the good stuff to look forward to. So all that means is that the things that you don't like to do, you do first. And while you're doing them, they're more enjoyable because you're looking forward to the things that you do like to do. Okay. Do the things that you do like to do first. And while you're doing them, they're more enjoyable because you're looking forward to the things that you do like to do. Does that make sense to you? All of us procrastinate, all of us do. But the thing on procrastination is do the things that you don't like to do first, so you can look forward to doing the things that you enjoy doing. Okay. Now here's the next point. Failure to set good goals and plans. Now, everybody that you've ever met who is successful has always said, you've got to have good goals and plans. Well, that's one thing that almost hung me up because I didn't understand them. I attended seminars and they called it the art of selling goals. Can you believe that? I'd been to a 6-hour seminar, the art of selling goals. Well, I thought I couldn't master setting goals, right? They told me to write it down and on a 3x5 card, put it in your pocket, read it in the morning as soon as you get up, read it at night before you go to bed. They teach you all that stuff, right? I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying do that. For me, when I wrote it down, nothing happened. I read it, nothing happened. I don't know how to make plans. I don't know how to follow up. I didn't want to do that. I was making money. I was moving ahead, but it wasn't with ease. You understand? It wasn't secure movement forward. Then I realized something and it made a lot of difference to me. And what I realized was I do know how to set goals. You know why? I had some goals in my life. I didn't write them down. All of us in this room know how to set goals. All of us know how to make plans to achieve those goals. And right now, you don't have to read any books. You don't have to do any seminars. You don't have to do anything. You know right now how to do it. A goal is something that you've got to have. You've got to have it. And if you've got to have it and you become aware of it, then you'll figure out the plans. The plans will come to you. And I'm going to tell you a story. And when I tell you the story, I bet a lot of people in this room that could tell me a story just about like that. There's a couple of things early on in my life that I knew I wanted. One of them was my own home. I knew at age 13, I wanted to own my own home. And I was very aware that I was going to own my own home. When I was 19, I was doing construction work on a tract of homes, and they had this one model over there that I really liked. And I just kept going back and looking at it, going back and walking through it. And it wasn't that it was the best model, but it was the only one that I could identify with possibly being able to get, right? That alone made it the best for me. And I just kept going back and looking at it. And finally, the developer said, why don't you buy it? Oh, I don't have any money or anything, and I don't have any credit and all that stuff. I went through the whole thing. Listen, why don't you just go buy it? And he said, I'll help you. You can do some extra stuff and work off some of the down payment. Well, I don't know. He looked at me squarely, do it. And he walked off. So the next day on Sunday, I went into the sales office and I wrote out a check for $250 deposit to hold the house. And I signed the papers knowing the whole deal was a real deal, because if I didn't do it, my money is gone, right? So $250 is a lot of money, especially back then, a lot of money. The house was going to be completed in 6 months, and I had no idea where I was going to get the money for the down payment. The truth of the matter was I had no idea how I was going to come in and cover the $250 check. That's true. But I somehow knew that check was going to get covered before it got to the bank the next day. I knew that somewhere it was going to happen. Somebody was going to buy something that I had, my old tennis shoes, something. Somebody was going to give me that $250. When I signed the papers on the house, I had no idea how I was going to pay for the payment. I had no idea I was going to qualify, but I forgot all about that once I made the commitment. I went out there when they started to level off the lot for the foundation. I took pictures, talked to the guys. I went out there when they were doing the foundation. When I did the cement work, I had all my friends over and we put some really special cement work. It was just really something. I was really excited about it. And when they started putting up the walls and everything, I'd bring all my friends over and I would explain to them how the family room was going to be and how the master bedroom would be. And we would have the sliding glass door over here out on the backyard. I was going to be able to step down. I went through the whole deal. They put up a fireplace and I went out there and showed them how the fireplace was going to work and everything. I had no idea how I was going to get the money. But you know the story, almost to the day and to the hour that it came for the final payment, for the down payment to get there. You know what happened? I had the money. Now I didn't sit down and write it on a piece of paper. I didn't do that. I didn't read it 3 times a day, 2 times a day, like they teach. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm saying it's just a total part of my awareness. Now that story might sound unusual to you, But how many times have you had something like that happen to you? That's a goal. And you know how to set goals. You know how to make the plans. You know how to do it today. The difference between $10,000 a year income and $10,000 a month income is the got to. That's all. It only has to do with your desire, something that you've got to have. There's never been a goal in your life that you've had that you've not achieved unless you've given up on it. Have you ever been in a situation where if I don't get another $200, the whole world is going to collapse? And sure enough, you got it right because you had to have it. The difference between $200 and $200,000 is not the issue. The amount is not the issue. The issue is the desire, the amount of desire that you have. I'm telling you, the reason that most people don't make $10,000 a month is they don't have a desire to make $10,000 a month. They don't have to do it. Now, if you've got to have $10,000 a month income, as bad as you've got to have the house, or as bad as you've got to have that new suit, or as bad as you have to have that vacation for your lady, or as bad as anything you've ever wanted that you weren't going to give up on, I'm telling you, it's yours. It's a matter of time. It belongs to you. It's just a matter of time. It's so, so true. We all do know how to make goals. We all know how to set these goals and make plans and do all of this stuff, right? So I was listening to a different book on atomic habits, and it's very similar, but it's a little bit different. And what they say is you do make goals, but you set the goals basically so that you know what it is that you're going for, and then you create the platforms and structures and all of that. You don't rise to the goal. You fall to your strategies. Your success is what you've already, the platforms, can't think of the exact right word at the moment, but you don't rise to the goal. You fall to the strategies and the systems that you have in place. So if you don't have systems in place to make that happen, his system was, he kept going and seeing and feeling that energy. He kept going and envisioning that house, right? So as we do that, that's a strategy. That is a strategy. So when you can actually visualize and feel it in every area of your body, is one of my mentors, Mary Morrissey, says, you have to 5 sensorize it. You have to see it, feel it, taste it, touch it. You have to be able to live into it as it's happening before it's actually yours. It's already yours. It's just you're in that gap, finding your way, right? So on that note, you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on Monday.